and welcome to this November 4th, 2010 video version of Invested Central's Chart of the Day. I'm Tom Bowley, Invested Central's Chief Market Strategist, and it's my pleasure to provide you today's Chart of the Day. This Chart of the Day is brought to you by StockCharts.com, simply the web's best financial charts. Today we are taking a look at BZ, which is Boise Inc. When you take a look at the technicals here, actually this is about a $621 million industrial company. Taking a look at the chart here, technically you can see that Boise ran into difficulties twice in 2010 up near the 745 level. Back in April we put in a top, came back up, we challenged it again in early September, failed, went back down one more time, and then came up and made the breakout. And notice the volume on Wednesday, very strong, among the best volume that we've seen over the last 8 months to support this break to the upside. So this one looks for real. The MACD looks very solid on this move to the upside. We are a little bit overbought, so it wouldn't surprise me if not, in the next day, maybe within the next couple of days, probably get a pullback to kind of lessen some of the overbought conditions and perhaps come back down and challenge this 745 support level. It used to be resistance, but when you make that breakout, prior resistance then becomes support. That's one of the basic tenets of technical analysis. But let's go back and take a look at the tops, because one of the questions that I always get with technical analysis is, when do I sell? What are some of the signs I should be looking for when to sell? So I'm going to give you a couple of indications looking back at this chart. Some of the things that you can use from a technical perspective to help you with that decision. If you take a look at the MACD, we had started actually coming down on the MACD as we were setting new highs back in April. That was certainly at least a hint that there was some additional risk that was building into the stock by owning it, holding it. Then you can see we've circled here in the red this reversing candlestick. This is a bearish engulfing candle, so you've got a reversing candle with this negative divergence, a bad combination. You can see we had broken to new highs here, but with a downsloping MACD. That tells you that the momentum is slowing. Then you get the reversing candle that basically tells you that the market is ready, at least in the near term, that the stock is ready, perhaps to give it up to the bears for at least the near term. So you kind of put those two together, but that wasn't all. If you take a look, see how the volume was pretty good early in April on this push to the upside, and then when we made the next move up here in the middle part of April, still had decent volume, but it was declining. Well, by the time we came up here and put in the final high with a negative divergence and that reversing candle, look at the volume that came in on that final push to the upside. It was much, much lighter. In fact, it was some of the lightest volume that the stock had seen, at least during this big up move. So you got really a couple of different things, a few different things they were all in collectively signaling that maybe the stock was going to run into some difficulties, and that's exactly what we did. We had the negative divergence, we had the reversing candle, we had the lessening volume, all of which, and not to mention overbought conditions. You can see the RSI had approached 80 back in mid-April. Stochastics were up in the 80s and 90s for several weeks. All of those things combined could at least give you clues that it was time to take some profits on the stock. Same thing we got up here in early September, new highs, negative divergence, volume just kind of so-so, not huge, overbought conditions, and down we went again, down just below the 50-day, close to this price support, and then finally we make the move, and this time we make the breakout. So I think the stock looks pretty good here. On a pullback to about 745 or so, that would be a solid entry. I hope you've enjoyed our presentation today. Be sure to check out our chart of the day every day at InvestedCentral.com. While you're there, sign up for our free weekly Market Pulse newsletter and have the chart of the day emailed directly to you. Happy trading.